Hello, my name is Eileen Wurst.
And I'm Genevieve Bargello.
And this is CFB News. Today we are excited to discuss the kickoff of the Ultimate Frisbee Odyssey League, known as the UFO, a game where Frisbees are looking like UFOs, those discs in the sky containing potentially extraterrestrials, according to the UFO Club of Clatfartburg. Anybody is allowed to play so long as they can smell aliens and have a lot of fun. You are required to bring something to the potluck dinner. There is a dinner every single night, so no matter what, you will be able to find something within your schedule. Sign-ups start today, and I will be sure to be signing up as well. I have recovered from my broken wrist that I never discussed because no one asked. Genevieve. Anyway, so I will be joining, and I am excited to see all of you there.
The Clatfartburg UFO Club also won a title for Best Parade Float at the Galactic Convention, which is an event that does take place, believe it or not, every year in Nevada. I saw Kelly Clarkson during her residency there.
Oh, wow.
Last year. It was a great time. I stayed at the Bellagio. Anyway, they won the Best Parade Float. So next time there's a parade in town, go and keep your eyes peeled for the UFO Club float. You won't miss it. It's really shiny.
Now, Genevieve, it's so interesting. Every single year they do vote for their version of Homecoming Queen. It's Phone Homecoming Queen. And they do allow all organizations across Clatfartburg to nominate somebody. And I thought, well, everybody here at CFB News, I got everyone together in a conference room, and we decided that you, Genevieve Bargello, should be our nominee for Phone Homecoming Queen for the Clatfartburg UFO Club, in which you might win. You can wear whatever you want on the float on the 4th of July parade, which I thought would be a dream come true for you. There'll be lots of photos and videos. And interestingly, speaking of videos, I was doing some research and I perhaps came across some old promotional videos you did for UFO clubs. It was very interesting. Your hair was so different in a style way.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah,
sure.
You know, when you're working to get your news voice really set, you know, which is something I've worked for and I've spent a lot of time doing, you know, which is not something everyone does. So when I was doing that work, I did do some brief VO work for the UFO Club, and it was great to experience a bit of Clatfartburg culture coming into town. And, you know, I'm honored you nominated me for the pageant or whatever the hell it was, because I actually became third in Miss New Jersey back in 2004. So I really appreciate that. And I'm glad to be able to bring some of that high-class skill I have to this town.
Genevieve Bargello, the Long Island long shot. We've got it covered.
This has been CFB News.
CFB News. Shots. Ooh. Ouch. Fun. Do I remember? Yes. Alcohol is an interesting journey for all of us. And where does alcohol come from? It's not from trees.
All right.
It comes from Distillery. Yeah. Hi, everybody. We're here to talk about the birth of alcohol. Turtles came. Well, I don't know where turtles came from, but I imagine little turtles walking up and they had their little turtle hands out and they were holding little dewdrops, and that was the first sign of alcohol. I'm a little sleep deprived and I'm a little emotional right now. So it's fine. Scrap all of that, everybody. Don't worry about it. We're talking about a distillery today. We are discussing the Clatfartburg Distillery, whatever its official name will be.
Yeah. Did I Google what a distillery was about an hour before this episode? Yes.
Yes. Did we know that we were doing this a week ago? Yeah. But I also had to double check and make sure, because, you know, it's not a brewery.
Well, I mean, I think it could be a distillery / brewery, like how it's the UFO Club / Alien Club. Who needs these distinctions?
Labels are just here to
Labels are
contain
boxes.
us. Labels are boxes. We're here. We don't want labels. We want lakes. Lakes are also contained.
We're here. We're beer.
We're here. We're beer. And in June, we're queer. Every other month, we're not.
Me that I can do a good pun once every 4 months, but it's not on tap. As some might say. As some might say.
Are we?
We got a pun day, I guess.
We have a pun day. I genuinely just got filled with so much joy. My serotonin just sparked. A little match went off.
Yeah.
I'm so hoppy right now. Anyway, just whoa. I was telling Felicia before this podcast, I am in some kind of way right now. There's just like 10 different emotional things happening. Some good, some bad, some angry. Come out
in anger or in love. And I'm glad that the puns turned on the love emotion, not the anger.
Yes. So we're coming in hot with some interesting things. So within a distillery, again, there's alcohol. I have done my part in discovering and trying out different alcohols. Yeah. Like I'm trying to figure out, get all the Pokemon in the Pokédex, if you will. So I've been around the block.
I've had about 3 sips. So
I think this is going to be great, you know?
Yeah, I know nothing. I know fuck all.
This is going to be so fun because we can create our own fucking, like, horrible alcohol. There's so many awful things out there, like buzz balls. Don't ever do it.
Okay.
Don't ever do it. So what I will say is I know most about beer and vodka. Ish. You know, I think also alcoholic knowledge does get to be limited based on your economic situation.
Yeah.
So I got a good vibe.
Wine is a hollowed space. We don't need to know about wine.
It's fine. You know, wine, I do enjoy wine. It's interesting as you get older, the different alcohols hit you differently, you know? And I don't drink as much as I did, but I did used to be like the iron liver lady kind of thing was, you know, it's fun when you get a little accolade. But regardless of all of that, that is to say that we have so many options to choose from. And I think what could be helpful with the distillery is to first establish, and I think I know the answer, but is this a distillery where people can come and get drinks like it's a bar and you look and you're like, oh, cool, there's a distillery and you can do a tour? Or is it simply do a tour and then go to the gift shop and like get something?
I feel like having it be a bar would give us more content. So
yes, so there we go. Perfect. Yes.
It's the bar, ladies and gents.
Oh, it's the bar. Okay, fabulous. So here's...
Maybe they're one of those places that has simply too many adjectives, you know, when it's like the blank brewery, tap house, and distillery, or distillery, tap house, and brewery, and you're like, pick a lane, pick a side.
Oh my God. Whoa. I don't know why I went, okay, it should be on a Christmas tree farm that on the off season is a lavender farm.
Wow.
And
picturesque.
Okay. Yeah. They can do weddings and they can do solstices.
Okay.
Specifically, no birthdays.
As a law?
No, they should do birthdays. I want there to be something weird. They need to have a weird thing. They're like, we don't fuck with that. No bachelor parties.
Oh, well, that's reasonable.
No bachelorette parties. Which I know you would be like, oh, that's like probably a big money spender. But like just the chaos that has happened at this place in the past from those parties, they're like, it's not worth it. If we see you celebrating your upcoming nuptials, we're going to kindly give you some chicken fingers and ask you to leave. You can go into the no-no zone, which is a fenced-off corn maze. And you get to go there for 2 hours to sober up, and then once you get through it, you get on the bus.
If I see any people, any women referring to a group collectively as the girlfriends, they're getting kicked out.
If there is a goddamn sash on a grown-ass woman out here,
you gotta go.
You gotta. I don't even care if it says "Happy 21st birthday." I don't care who's wearing the sash. Actually, no sashes. This isn't Girl Scouts. We want you to come as you are, and what we prefer that to be is a lumberjack aesthetic.
Flannels only!
Is it the summer?
But it is not a lesbian
Don't give
bar.
a shit. It's not a lesbian bar. Okay. And we're classy. It's not Larry the Cable Guy flannel. It's, I have a good smelling candle at home.
It's REI.
Yes. It's, maybe I go hiking, but maybe I also just look like I go hiking. But I probably smell nice, which is an interesting vibe. Okay, this is interesting. So we're in so we're on a farm.
We're on REI with a chandelier.
Yes. Whoa. And that's what one of the Google reviews is.
I'm kind of thinking upscale Cabela's. Have you ever been to a Cabela's?
Whoa. It's been like a million years. Let me get myself a good visual
as a child. Here. Looking at the mountain of taxidermied animals, not really getting that as a concept, but being like, what a tourist attraction. And my mom would be like, look at that, isn't that cool? And I'd be like, yeah, that is cool. I don't think we'd get anything. I think maybe we get a present for my grandpa who
Oh
fishes.
my gosh. Okay. It looks like a Bass Pro Shop. Or
Do you have images of the mountain inside?
oh, the mountain inside. Wait, hold on. Oh my God, wait. Oh, okay. I would like to formally request that there is scenery within that has this sort of vibe. Doesn't need to be taxidermy, kind of fun, but like I think that would be good. Whatever so obviously it's like lumberjack, but we can sort of see like what price ranges, I guess. Like we said, like this will kind of determine our customer clientele coming in here, right? So I imagine you can come casually to this place. They have weird hours. They're open Tuesday, Wednesday from 11 to 2, Thursday 7 to 9, and then Friday 5 to 3 a.m. and so on. Weird hours that and they probably change them out on a weekly basis, so you go half the time and you just don't know if it's open or not. It's just kind of a gamble.
And it is out of the way. It is not nearby.
Yeah.
They have a weird thing on I don't know what days you said because I kind of blacked out. But
it changes.
I was looking at images of Cabela's too, and I was like, why does it look like a hotel? But I think maybe there's one day where you can call to schedule them being open. When it's like places and it's call to make an appointment for selling items or something like that, available upon inquiry on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
What does that mean? We don't know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. I was just so inspired by, cosmetology schools. They'll be like, okay, you can come get a way cheaper haircut, but just know you're going to get done by a student, right?
Yeah.
For those people at distilleries, it's kind of the same way with bougie coffee shops. Like these people know their shit. And they care a lot about what they're going to give you. So for any new employees, this isn't just like you're running the cash register.
Right.
You're about to need to know, good flavor combinations. If someone's like, oh, I like this drink, what would you recommend? And so what they do is it's a little cheaper when you call in, but you get a newbie who is working with you, but it's also good training for that
an
person.
apprenticeship program, essentially.
Yes. This is a very... it's weird because it's not fully bougie because it has such a casual tone to it, but it is, it means a lot. You have some weight to yourself if you can be like, I'm currently in an apprenticeship.
Can get a Michelin star,
Exactly. And that does peeve them a bit, but that's okay. They do have a cute little van they bring around Christmas time. Yeah. It's one of those cute little vans that just has I don't know, spiked hot chocolate or something.
Yeah, which is interesting due to drinking and driving. I know they're not drinking the alcohol, but it does feel odd. It feels like an odd tonal shift personally. I guess I've never considered that before.
I guess, it all has to go in a vehicle at some point, but it is silly and goofy. So... Okay, this is great.
We need to have the twist because there's everything about this is a little too normal. There's not I'm enjoying it, but it does feel like a place I could encounter in the everyday world. Yeah, and while that's great,
Yeah,
we need something a little fucked.
What's the alcohol? I think that could be a pretty good place to kick us off here. I think they have an alcohol that it's a flavor you can't really find anywhere else. And I think it's going to be, you tell me.
I'm picturing something. So I am a little bit experienced with, not experienced, I don't have much experience purchasing alcohol, but I do have experiences purchasing perfume on Etsy. And those people pull some crazy shit. And they got some wild names and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
Bog moss, swamp, you know what I mean? Those kinds of shit. I'm a little vanilla girl, so I don't really go over to those areas. But I've dabbled. And I'm thinking something a little like that. I'm thinking like they describe it like perfume. Oh my God, I just got an idea. We'll talk about this in a minute.
Yeah, you just said something that brought something to me as well. So this is wild.
I'm thinking I'm really obsessed with the one being inspired by what the feeling of turning over a log in the forest.
Whoa.
Like the tone of looking at it and going, oh, there's a worm in there. And that being kind of, because I was originally thinking, what if it's like a tree themed alcohol that they got off some things? It's like that. And they're infusing it with wet dirt and stuff like that. The flavor of wet dirt and the smell of wet dirt, but it's they paint you a whole thematic picture on the back. where it's like, when you drink this, you'll be transported into a realm where blah, 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 blah. And you turn over the rock and there's a little worm in there and some pebbles. How neat. And then like, yeah, you drink it and you're like, okay, it kind of tastes like dirt, but happy you did that. What inspired you?
So that would kind of fit in with what I'm thinking, because I was like, and guys, I just need us to let go of science a little bit here, okay?
Yeah, we don't know shit.
We don't know shit, and just need to trust that these people have figured it out, okay?
They don't have to have figured it out well.
Yeah. And we're just telling their story, okay?
We're just sharing.
We're just sharing. We're not providing, if you
Bring
know
it up
what
with
I mean.
them.
But, you know, I live in South Carolina, and there's a ton of Spanish moss, which if y'all don't know what it is, when you look at like, oh, the South, Gothic, ooh, spooky, there's like all that like dangly stuff from the trees. That's Spanish moss. Don't touch it. It has bugs that'll eat you and be very painful. But a lot of tourists like to pick it up and rub their faces in it. Just don't do it. Side note. But I like the idea if they distill Spanish moss, they distill these weird fucking plants. Like, who wants to have alcoholic like alcohol derived from moss?
Yeah,
is absolutely bonkers.
Now this
Lichen,
does imply that Clatfartburg is in the South, but I don't know if it is. I don't. Think
it doesn't have to. I mean, in Spanish moss can mean that's more of like a humidity thing. They can bring it in. They're on a farm. They can import it. It doesn't have to be Spanish moss. I was just thinking like that's like clunky, but it can be like any moss. No. What if it's just moss?
I like Spanish moss, though. I agree with you.
Moss.
I think it's so specific because it feels like, it feels much more exotic than it is if you're not from the South.
That's so
Which
true.
Is why you're like, probably imported, you know?
Yeah. Well, and then that's so fun to say, be like, oh, imported Spanish moss directly to our cozy little farm.
From South Carolina.
Organically grown Spanish moss.
Ethically grown.
The idea of a farm that specifically grows Spanish moss is so
jars.
Weird. With every bottle of distilled Spanish moss, we get up a couple of stones from the local nearby river and we rub them on top of it just to give it that little crack of something. And that's where your idea of like, oh, it's like the feeling of when you flip a log over or something, or like what the feeling of your sand in the muddy bank of a river. It's like that's what they add.
It's the first sparkling vodka. Is that a thing? I feel like that
is a thing. Yeah.
Oh fuck! What's something that would be crazy to be sparkling in the world of alcohol?
I feel like no, I've had that. I've never had absinthe. I would love to know.
A sparkling Spanish moth absinthe.
Whoa. Okay, wait. Oh, that's it, Felicia. We've got our thing. Okay. We've got our thing, because a sparkling Spanish moth moth. Whoa,
this is
moss,
hard, guys. Before you judge us, try it at home.
Moss absinthe is insane, because now that we're on like a remote farm and people are having absinthe essentially, but like to twist it's a little different.
Yeah.
But this could, people can have some hallucinations on absinthe. Let me just for us, I'm going to do a quick little look on absinthe.
Google on absinthe.
Because the side effects are a bit wild. So absinthe is an anise-flavored spirit derived from several plants.
Nice.
Including the flowers and leaves.
Why do I think it tasted like mint?
I guess it's green. So that's fair.
I just was like, listerine.
Together with green anise, sweet fennel, and other medicinal and culinary herbs. It's very high alcohol volume. Like, this shit is bonkers. So it can be naturally green or it could be colorless. I think it'd be fun if it's green. And in literature, it's referred to as the green fairy. You can have fun with that.
Icon.
And let's see, absinthe has often been portrayed as a dangerously...
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
We can do their tacky Pride Month, whatever they decide to do.
Yeah.
Absinthe has been portrayed as a dangerously addictive psychoactive drug and hallucinogen, which gave birth to the term absinthism. Okay, a lot of chemicals. I don't care. Now let's look up. I don't care about the etymology. I want to know about
how fucked up do you get on absinthe?
How fucked up do you get? First off, anytime you see that there's been multiple bans on it, this is fun. One critic claimed this. I'm getting all of this off Wikipedia, by the way. Absinthe makes you crazy and criminal, provokes epilepsy and tuberculosis, and has killed thousands of French people. It makes a ferocious beast of man, a martyr of woman, and a degenerate of the infant. It disorganizes and ruins the family and menaces the future of the country. Whoa.
Wow.
That
all right
would be great as a label. Okay, it has a similar quality to that of high quality gin.
Right.
Okay, so we're within our, like, you know.
This is reasonable.
This is fine. I don't care about preparing it is you pour it, you put a little sugar spoon over it, it looks like you're doing crack or whatever, and then it does it. We don't really care about that. Absinthe is like it's like a DIY kit when you get a drink. Okay, there was so much on there of just the history that, guys, you should go check it out, I guess.
Plug for Wikipedia.
For Absinthe. Okay, so Absinthe, a liquor. Oh, whoa!
Somebody got into the absinthe cabinet.
Oh man, I got that sparkling. Okay,
I like that 10 minutes of this episode is going to be us reading resources on absinthe.
Okay, here we go. You ready? Hallucinations.
It's like Wonka Watch again.
Oh no! Oh yay! Hallucinations. But recent studies have disproven this is a much. But I think hallucinations might be an issue, Felicia.
I think
brain damage, mental illness, convulsions, gastrointestinal problems, vision impairment, cognitive troubles, loss of inhibition, slurred speech, blurry vision, poor coordination, overconfidence, elevated awareness. Okay, so mostly specific to absinthe. It's been blamed for everything from psychosis and seizures to dangerous behavior and murders. Okay, let's just go with the hallucinogen aspect, and it's a really high volume alcohol.
I also think because they are serving absinthe, they must have some sort of system to get people home, because otherwise, how is this working?
Yeah.
So maybe there is a designated spot in town that you can rent a bike with a little basket on the front of it. Which I don't understand how bike on absinthe would be any better than car on
it's technically
absinthe.
A DUI. Maybe not in Clatfartburg, though.
No, but there's a separate bike path between
the drunken bike path.
Isn't
it like bumper cars? Like you're. Just,
I don't know. I don't think about it very well. Okay, no, it's not a bike.
What if they toboggan down?
No. I'm thinking about it again.
I would like there to be a toboggan somewhere.
I think they have those little pedal cars for children.
That's really fucking good.
Those little pedal cars for children, all feet on the ground. Some of them you sit in and you move with your feet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Really
and then they have
much faster.
The way that you have like lifeguards at the pool. They have these just like, I guess they can't be teenagers, but like youngster, like they're just like they have little traffic like lights and they're like go this way, and people are just like giggling as they roll down this hill.
It is a designated bike path between the distillery and the center of town, and it is how many miles do we think? 3.5?
Whoa. Yeah.
This has to be out of the way. It's a fucking lavender farm and Christmas tree farm.
That's true. I imagine it's also up a hill. So they're going downhill on the way home.
No. I don't want this to be an actual sneaky hazard.
It's not a huge hill, but they're going down at a, like, you know.
I feel like at that point, we might as well make a children's train that goes back and forth.
I mean, that could.
But I don't want to indulge us in that way.
Oh, I was thinking like a hayride.
That would make way more sense than what I'm doing. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
That would cause a lot of like injuries. I think some people.
I tried to fix the problem of drinking and driving, and I invented a new problem of drinking and driving. I just made the vehicle smaller. So yes, they have a hayride and ferry system, whatever the fuck. They just have like a little boat. I was thinking about horse and carriage, but then I was like, I don't want to make the horses do that. They've got enough on their plate. I just felt kind of bad about it. So I think, there's like a hayride or something. That makes way more sense. Thank you. Thanks for fixing it, Elaine.
Driven by a tractor. No animals involved. We're just hitting our carbon footprint instead.
Great.
And then you get, and so, you know, maybe you get mossed. And they go, oh, yeah, to go get in the roll in the hay. It's my favorite line from Young Frankenstein. Cool. Okay, so they have a safe way to get home. It's a little bit shameful because you will be covered in hay and people will be like, you went to the absinthe farm.
You got mossed.
Oh. Yeah. And then you can tell people at the diner the next day who've been mossed and they're just like a little something's their pupils are just
runs to
too
the bathroom.
Big. Yeah. They fear the color green for a bit.
I was thinking about, just as a side note, because they're having the very perfume like vibe with their things. I also think their ads are very esoteric, like perfume ads are, even though they have a physical product to advertise.
Yes.
Where like it'll be like a woman walking next to a stream, hair flowing in the wind. She looks around. She sees a deer on the hill, and they nod at each other. And then it says like Spanish Moths Sparkling Absinthe by Distillery. We need to come up with a name. But I think like that's what their advertisement takes, where it's just like, huh? Wait, what? You know, like you
and
have
it's like
something
always,
to advertise.
It's a short ad too, but they pack so much into those 10 seconds before you can skip it on YouTube. And you're like, what the fuck just happened? But then they become iconic because of it.
This is like how I've been baffled for the past month. I mean, it's not really, it's just talking about ads. Guys, I've been so confused about why there were suddenly so many sports betting and casinos and gambling ads. I've been like, what the fuck's going on? What happened? Did they cut some new deals? What's going on? It just occurred to me last week that I turned 21 a month or two ago, as exactly when the ads started. Like, is that just, does everybody have this many sports betting ads all the time, or are they just trying it out to see if they'll get me?
Football season is upon us. It's impending. They want to get you on the apps.
If I hear Bet MGM Casino one more goddamn time, I'm gonna get mossed. I'm gonna do it.
No casinos. No casinos in Clatfartburg.
No casinos in Clatfartburg.
I mean, maybe one day we'll turn back on that, but I'm kind of feeling pretty confident on that one.
No, Clatfartburg's not big enough for a casino.
No, there might be a fun like Magic Castle kind of moment, but
yeah, well,
not that
of
vibe.
course there will be, because it's us. But yeah,
obviously.
I think we should come up with a name for this place, because I feel like it's starting to become a problem that there isn't one, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So there should be the ridiculously long name, and then just like the shortened version that we can then refer to, and most people will throughout. But I do want to keep it, like you said, as this ridiculously long, like all-encompassing name.
I'm going to up a notepad document to get this name down, because I love it.
So there's a couple routes to go about this. We can do random adjectives related to nature as part of it. Do we want a family name? Like, is this a family-owned business? And it's been a couple generations in the making. And this is where it's been like I could almost see this being like a family generation, but the newest generation has taken this twist of making sparkling Spanish Moss Absinthe, and it doesn't really fit what the older vibe was. And so there might be some family tension, but it would have a family name. So that would be a last name versus
maybe it used to be called Old Blanks, all the adjectives, but now it's called New Blanks.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so, they're like part of our rebranding, and then that's when all the weird commercials come out and people are like, what?
And the couple that runs it is chill with La Marque Rouge. They are pals. This is they have goodwill because they've grown up in the community. But people are like, okay, they're associating with La Marque Rouge though, which is a little odd. They're the only Clatfartburg location that has La Marque Rouge ketchup at the table.
Yes. Which is wild because they mostly have pretzels.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine they don't have foods that would need ketchup or normally that you would think of. But of course, it's artisanal. Not everything goes on a hot dog.
The only name I can think of right now is Smythner. Which I don't know if that's a name.
Smythner.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. Something about Smythe always just makes me laugh. Smythe. And then we have Smythe. Yeah. It's not pronounced Smythe, it's Smythe.
So Smithe?
Smythe.
Okay.
Smythe.
Okay, this is the name I have. Do you have any other suggestions before I read out my draft?
No, go for it.
New Smythe, Distillery, Tavern, Taphouse, Christmas Tree Farm, and Absinthe and Lavender Farm.
I like because it's so dumb that the farms would be separated and you'd put the alcohol in the middle.
Yeah, and
it's
also
like
they've
not
already said Distillery, Tavern, and Taphouse, but they wanted to add the Absinthe on there. So yes, it's New Smythe, Distillery, Tavern, Taphouse, Christmas Tree Farm, and Absinthe and Lavender Farm, which is funny that the Smythe has to be said in an accent when this is so American. This is so American. So what the fuck happened that we went from New Smythe, it used to be like a fucking English tavern, and now we're like Cabela's. What happened to us?
So here we go.
What happened to this Bass Pro Shop rebrand?
If they're friends with La Marque Rouge, could we but not have some
whether they actually are from England where they'd have a Cockney accent or they just decided to have a weird flavor.
Yeah.
They're not going to be the exact... We're not making Le Marque Rouge 2.0.
No.
But I do think it would be funny if there was some kind of flavor that happened there where just some random Cockney level English accent just was
that's what I'm kind of picturing. Maybe that was the elder group.
Yeah.
But New Smythe is like, our roots are still there.
Yeah, it's like we're Americanizing the brand.
Yeah,
we're American. Okay, that's it. So they had some old English, whatever. Their grandparents running it, right, and then the new generation takes over, and they're Americanizing it. But it's still Smythe. So instead of old Smythe's Tavern, now it's like New Smythe. All the words you said.
Yeah. New Smythe Distillery, Tavern, Taphouse, Christmas Tree Farm, and Absinthe and Lavender Farm. So again, the commercial, if we go back to the commercial, you have the woman. She's walking next to a creek. The wind blows through her hair. She looks up to the top of a hill. There's a deer there. They nod at each other. And it says, sparkling Spanish moss absinthe, now at New Smythe Distillery, Tavern, Taphouse, Christmas Tree Farm, and Absinthe and Lavender Farm.
I just imagine Natalie Portman saying that.
Yeah, and they get some big gets. I think what happened here is one of the people that runs it is from Clatfartburg. But this is getting to Le Marque Rouge territory again. But I think it's true. Maybe one of them was really successful. They took time away. This is Le Marque Rouge again. This is the problem. I feel like this is becoming Le Marque Rouge. But
are you talking about like the new generation, or is this like how
the new OG, generation? I'm thinking about the new generation. I'm just thinking someone's really rich involved in this and knows a lot of people. Like
maybe
their sister's a celebrity stylist.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was thinking like maybe someone was like on Silicon Valley. And they're now thinking this could be a fun pet project to work on with somebody who in the family is passionate about it. So they're having to compromise on some deals to keep the project going. Yeah. But they're also like...
So like there is like a Natalie Portman ad for this. Like it's crazy.
Yes, yeah. So that's part of it. Yeah. So there's somebody...
What? And they're doing these like national advertising campaigns for a place that is in one location. Now, granted, they do sell the absinthe online. So it's like, there you go. But...
Yeah. Yeah. And it was mentioned on The View at one point. That was pretty... exciting.
Big one. Rhett and Link tried it.
They did. They did have to get hospitalized, but I mean,
and
iconic.
That's the first time they've had to, which is crazy after all the shit they've done.
Truly. And that actually made sales like go through the roof.
Yeah.
It was pretty
great.
The
thing that took down Rhett. It took down Rhett
in this universe.
Rhett McLaughlin was killed. No, was severely hospitalized. I don't want to put that out. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry, Rhett.
They're safe. Sorry,
I
Rhett.
enjoyed your videos a lot when I was like 12. Okay, so that happened. There's like a big Spanish absinthe moss, sparkling absinthe moss challenge. Just like throw the words in there.
Yeah.
Word salad. That's what their name is. That's what they would want. So the new Smythe. This is so stupid. Okay, what do we... I feel like there's a few threads we've left off. We've talked about pride, and we've talked about hallucinations. I feel like having a place with a mountain of, I don't think taxidermy, but like fake animals, feels like you're wanting the hallucinations to show up.
Yes,
like
I
that
think so.
Feels weird. That feels like, I feel like that's got a lot of the animals talk to me energy, Yeah. And maybe they used to, they spin it as like a folk tale where it's like, sometimes the ghost of old Smythe will talk to you through this. I don't know why it's Australian.
When you said old folk tale, I thought it was like, once upon a time, there was a little deer and her name was Chelsea. And a princess came along and spoke to Chelsea. And thus a prophecy was born. And you just like kind of slowly go through this experience of watching this. Like I just imagine it like some Eastern European folk tale that gets weirdly spooky. Something like that. Like there's it's just like an edge where it's cute, but like
stories you can buy in like the weird caddy corner merch shop that's like behind the bar with little prices on stickers,
Yes.
Okay. Where they have to go in the back and get it for you, and then they're like, is this size right? And it's like, what do you think? I'm gonna put it on here. I hope so.
Yeah.
It's just personal.
Wow.
But yeah, like I feel like that's like ripe for, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, which animal talked to you, bro? Did you get the crow? The crow over the door talked to you? Yeah, I had my Poe moment. That's
there was
Raven,
stuff up.
bitch.
I've never looked up. I was looking down at the worms. They're like, that
What
was
worms?
grass. Yeah, like you just have to like write down your experience, and like there's like a come down room kind of thing, and like there's like I you know, to be clear, this place has the health regulations ready to go. This is not one of those things where we're causing chaos for people. Like, people are safe here.
This isn't moonshine.
Yeah, this isn't moonshine. This is bougie moonshine, if you think about it.
Yeah.
But they did try to branch out into moonshine at the old
They're
Smythe.
clinging onto that liquor license with clawed hands.
They really are. And obviously not everyone's having absinthe. Some of them are having
the
beer.
under a log experience.
The under a log experience. They're doing the different flights of their dirt flavored meads and so on. You know, to get the whole nature flavor, which we can dive into here in a bit.
There's also
but
the beer that's the essence of Old Smythe.
The essence of Old Smythe, named after his granddaddy.
Yeah, which doesn't feel great. They didn't really think about the implications of that when they made it.
No.
But
especially because it's like a white Russian vibe. It's weird, but
it's odd.
You know. But hey,
Any
it
drink
tastes
with
good,
milk
though.
is fucked. So I'm not, you know.
Yeah, when
When I hear about dairy and alcohol, I want to walk out the door.
it's weird. Like a dairy, like an alcoholic milkshake. Let's go. Bailey's, I'm fucking ready to rock. But like straight milk with something else in it, I'm like, this is a bit.
The eggs I don't
Interesting.
get. The Bloody Mary, confusing.
I'm not a Bloody Mary girl, but I do like V8, so it feels conflicting. But
I also like V8.
I like a spicy margarita. Ooh, that's one of my favorites. Get a little cut up jalapeno in there, a little spicy salt on the rim. I want to be crying when I drink, not from pain, but from the burn. Can they have what would the nature bougie REI version of a spicy margarita be?
Let me think. I'm getting there.
I got you.
I'm trying to think of something really clever. And I think I lost it on the we're beer joke at the beginning, and I think that might have been my quota. I think I might have tapped out.
I'm imagining
I was trying to think of a good bit with poison ivy, but I couldn't think of it.
I
was trying to think of things in nature that burn.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a poison ivy. I like to order the poison ivy. Our poison ivy is a spicy salted rim with our organic jalapeno nettle-infused alcohol with distilled sugar taken from the sap of a dogwood tree from 2022. Infused together with round ice cubes served in a long cylindrical glass with one tiny umbrella.
And that's not poison ivy sitting on top. That's mint.
That's mint. You're just having an allergic reaction. Wait, can that be? Wait, that's how any slight issues that have happened. Again, this place is pretty clean, but any slight issues, they've somehow been able to put it in like a, oh, it's just like a, you know, whatever. Or they do the whole Disney thing where they're like, get them off the premises, get them off the premises. Okay, not our problem.
Get them on the cart.
Yeah, roll them down the hill, go.
What do we think the tour is like? Because now that I'm like, there's this whole nostalgia around it. That we've got all this going on. Do they make the tour guides fake an accent? But that would be weird because they're
wearing like 1812 uniforms for no reason.
There's two parts of the tour. The first part of the tour is by a historical tour guide who was dressed up like it's 1812. The brewery opened in 1950 for the record. Yeah. And he's doing an Old Smythe. So he's Old Smythe, and then you get New Smythe touring you around as well.
Yes. New Smythe has those glasses that where you go outside, they automatically turn into sunglasses. You go back inside, they slowly fade away. But the fade away time on his glasses are really long, so he's just like kind of in the dark. So
Old Smythe is in like 1800s garb.
Yes.
And New Smythe has transition lenses.
Yeah.
And he's on a hoverboard. He has transition lenses and he's on a hoverboard.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So I think Old Smythe, I think they do sell most of the Old Smythe products. Like, and that's just like standard beers and normal shit. It's like just
which would like fit their
normal shit.
Yeah, and it fits like their Christmas tree farm vibe as well as I think like Lilac Farm. You're thinking like, oh, older times, whatever, versus
rustic,
and
then this
cottage
new one
core.
we're bringing a new elegant edge to rustic, and I was like, wait, stop putting words together. Those are two.
Yeah.
Stop.
You can't have. Yeah, it's just something new, and embrace it.
And that's what new Smythe
that comes out in the paper. New Smythe Distillery, Tavern, Taphouse, Christmas Tree Farm, Absinthe, and Lavender Farm is not all that new.
Absinthe or absent?
Absinthe.
Something's different in the new Smythe.
Oh, okay. I understand. I thought I just fucked up the words, which to be fair, there's a lot of them.
That's how good that headline was. Hits.
New Smythe Distillery, Taverns, Taphouse, Christmas Tree Farm, and Absinthe and Lavender Farm were like some new Smythe Distillery, Tavern, Taphouse, Christmas Tree Farm, and Absinthe and Lavender Farm.
For the longest time, they couldn't do any Twitter marketing back when there was only 150 characters you could use in a tweet.
Yeah.
They were really, which they didn't,
They did that harsh rebrand where they delete all their posts before they became new Smythe.
Yes. And like their lead-in was just weird zoom-ins of like moss on a tree.
I like how the distillery is the most Silicon Valley we've gone.
I know.
Somehow. I don't know why it feels like a tech company, but it is somehow. We're bringing AI to the distillery.
Can't spell absinthe without AI. And we're here to befriend technology.
They definitely say that in an interview.
They're really into it.
It's like, what does that mean?
So for my brain, just to like visualize the map of this, I imagine we have the long building that we'll call the barn. It wasn't, I mean, maybe the old Smythe is part of the original barn, but they've built onto it. So I imagine there's old Smythe, which is like probably the older version of the tavern. A lot more like day drinkers are probably going there.
Oh, okay. So
and then
these are separate institutions.
I think they could all be under the same building, but I think like that version, and then because you could keep that. That's where like Santa might be. You get your hot chocolate.
I made my reservations at Old Smythe, not New Smythe.
Oh my god, babe! What are we gonna do?
I like that the babe is bro.
Thomas Babe, your name. What are we gonna so imagine there's like Old Tavern, and then we're gonna obviously have all the distillery parts that can be in the middle or like in the back where people walk through, and then on the other side can be the bigger, newer component where most people are going. Yeah, this is where majority of their business is probably coming from. The other side is more kid friendly if you wanted to bring your kids. Yeah, I feel like, the tour probably like swings by there as a stopping point or something. So I imagine they're still like part of the old Smythe. They haven't completely gotten rid of it. Again, one of our people working right now.
Old Smythe sells sugar cookies.
Yes, Old Smythe sells sugar cookies.
To get that out, but it was important.
New Smythe, you might be able to find poppers.
Has some velvet chairs and fake throws. Like too much fabric in an establishment that is serving absinthe.
Yeah, they have vases that have twine balls inside of them.
Which is interesting because you can't see them, so you have to look inside like it's a secret.
Yeah, it's well, clear vases, glass vases. No. Wait. I take it back, actually. They are opaque vases, and they're filled with the old rustic decorations that the sister who wants to keep the rustic going was like, okay, we can do your new section, but you have to keep some of the like flavor of the old section. And he's like, yeah, sure. And he just shoves them in these like ugly ass new age, like gross looking opaque vases everywhere. And so they are technically there. And then also, I mean, look, drunk people be little tricksters. There's random stuff thrown in there,
Old Smythe's old classic was just like lavender infused stuff, because I have a fucking lavender farm. It's a lot of lavender and pine stuff. They just like do what they have, which is like fucking normal. And Old Smythe is like, we're adventuring into the deeps of the Clatfartburg woods to find what new things have been unturned. And then, like, they found one of the fake snakes made by the Clatfartburg Trout Scout, and we're like, we've discovered a new creature, and we will be infusing it into it. It's like, what the fuck?
We're going to make our own tequila. Somehow we have enough room to have all these distilleries.
With the biggest worm you've ever seen.
That's right. We're collaborating with the Clatfartburg Botanical Gardens. Just kidding. We want nothing to do with that garbage. We're better than that. You call that gardening? Trash.
It's unfortunate because they would make a great Henry Pizdog collabo.
They would. So, I mean, and like, we're not going to venture too far into this because we'd like to do this at some point, do a dispensary. But I do imagine they are probably on that CBD infused,
absolutely,
game. So, what like, if you have absinthe, then you can have
husk.
Whoa. Okay.
Think about the mushroom superfoods,
Oh, okay.
The mycelium. A lot of mycelium.
Lycelium. Is that how you say it? Lycelium?
Mycelium.
Mycelium?
Like
mycelium. Mycelia. It's like mycelia,
And then in parentheses, mycelium. This mushroom-infused sparkling gin CBD shroom tonic is perfect for those days when you want to be having a clear mind but feel like your body is 300 pounds heavier than it feels. You might look at your fingers and think they're a little longer, but don't worry. The upper nutty notes of this roast in this tonic will really ground you back into earth and create a beautiful experience that lasts about 2 hours and 15 minutes based on body weight.
Wow.
Whoa. Everything is a whole fucking paragraph when you order something.
Yeah.
There's like
is that the product title?
No. That was just the whole description.
That would be in line with the branding, to be honest.
It would actually. You know what? I take it back. That is the entire thing. And they do like the bartenders also here are they're not bartenders. They're flavorologists.
They're distillery technicians.
They're distillery technicians. We call them our DTs.
They're like programmers, but for alcohol.
Isn't it funny?
And drink.
It's so fun. We really love bubbles here. Look at all our cool lights.
This is Dave. He's our bubble technician.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm so excited to help you tonight. Happy birthday to you, Dave. So tell me, what are some of your favorite flavors right now?
Am I Dave?
Oh, you can. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Oh boy. Oh, fuck.
It doesn't have to be alcohol. Just tell me a flavor, I'm ready. I got you.
I like... Ugh, man, this is tough. Is this live?
Well, is this live?
I don't really know what's going on. Let's cut this. I'm really confused. I thought it was a news
funny.
interview. There was too many things going on. I'm really confused.
Anyway, in the moment, I just imagine that's how everyone is aggressively talking to you like you're at a Best Buy or something. I don't know. It's just like you very much have to interact with somebody, which can be a lot. But if you're getting your absinthe, it's fine. So people feel friendly. You have your DTs going around and doing stuff. And there is definitely an employee angst if you're old Smythe or new Smythe.
Oh, yeah.
Old Smythe, you've got... just somebody dressed in their old German little outfit, despite the fact that no one's German here. But they're just fun. They're more you're back to your basics. And this is the weird connection that you have on both sides. They both want to go back to basics in different ways.
Yeah.
You have basic and sort of this cool nature aesthetic with a hint of AI, but they're really trying to keep it not being too computery. It's just more the aesthetic of hiking, like we said. And then we have back to basics and our roots we have with Old Smythe. So They are connected that way. But the employees, I don't imagine... I think they might end up getting pitted against each other just based on their bosses being pitted against each other. Old Smythe is the underdog at this point. And they're trying, and maybe there's talk of trying to get rid of Old Smythe altogether. But they're holding on. Those sugar cookies are the best. And people will go out of their way to get those sugar cookies.
Exactly.
So
it's important.
They have them in the shape of paws sometimes. Or in the shape of moss, which interesting.
That's what they say, but that's when they just fuck up.
Yeah, they're here are moss cookies. Oops.
Actually, okay, that actually would be gross. I'm going back and forth. Would an oatmeal cookie dyed green be an appropriate moss cookie?
I think it would be.
Yeah,
and I think
was
you could adapt.
Is that gross? But I'm also kind of down with it.
I'm down with it because I think you could do a nice green.
I actually kind of want that.
I think that would be...
I haven't had an oatmeal cookie in a really long time. And I like an oatmeal cookie if I expect it,
Same. A warm oatmeal cookie.
When that's what you're biting into, there's nothing like it. It's just I don't like to be tricked.
No, exactly. And I think that's the problem. It's and it's not oatmeal cookies' fault. They don't, they didn't know that you knew it was going to be chocolate chip. It's other people...
They're a victim of big chocolate chip.
Yeah. It's I think they get a bad rep. A raisin really can't replace a chocolate chip when that's what you're expecting. And I think that's really the big bummer. But I think, everybody, we're entering fall. I want you to try an oatmeal cookie again. Go into it knowing what it is. Open your heart to oatmeal cookies. And that's a really big brand campaign that Old Smythe Distillery, Tavern, Flavortown Farm and Brewery and Dairy Farm does.
Yeah, maybe this is the drama is they don't get the same budget allocations for their commercials, so they don't get Natalie Portman.
No.
They get locals.
They get Eileen Wurst.
That's
really a bummer. Eileen Wurst is not the vibe you want for Old Smythe.
Can I get a little bit of what that might sound like? I don't want to put you on the spot, but I would love to get an idea.
What season should I be trying to like promote stuff? Christmas time or something?
Well, I think fall. The oatmeal cookie's very
Okay.
fall. Harvest.
Hello, everybody. I am Clatfartburg Noses Eileen Wurst, and I am here to discuss the most beautiful and delicious cookie I've ever tasted. It is the Spanish mouse oatmeal cookie here at Old Smythe, and everybody understands that here at Old Smythe is a lovely time to embrace your fall. Look at their pumpkins, as well as their other cookies that are just delicious and green. I am here eating it all. Thank you.
And they were like, okay, so that wasn't a news report. We have a script for you that you can read.
You know what? I'm going to say it. I think it's good that Genevieve did those commercials for the UFO club. I think it's good. And it's crazy that Eileen was clowning on her for it when that's what she delivers.
You know, I mean, and that was like, you know, they've gotten better over time. But yeah, I mean, and well, an Old Smythe too. It's like, they don't have enough funding for good script writing. And Eileen she doesn't write, she talks. You know, she is a prompt girly and she can barely read the prompt.
Which is wild that she has a job on the fucking news. That's her outlook in life. Built for Second City, stuck in the news.
It's Eileen Wurst's plight. I was like, there's some kind of edge with Eileen. There's some reason Eileen has not been fired from this place.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Just running a 12-year blackmail campaign. We'll get into it. I don't know.
It's fine. You know, it's whatever.
She's like, Old Smythe cookies are so cozy. It's like a pumpkin is giving you a nice little hug, and you give it a little kiss on the forehead with your teeth. Yum.
And then everyone's like, wow.
And it's all like taken while she's on like the hay ride, so it's like there's so much wind noise,
and the camera's just jostling
in her face. Yeah.
I'm Eileen Wurst, and I'm here to talk about Old Smythe.
And then like she's just eating a whole like hay is in there, and she's like coughing on it. And then they just put up they start playing like a little fiddle, like and like fade into the logo of Old Smythe Tavern, Trap House. Dog sitting house. I don't remember any of the words.
Old Smythe Distillery, Tavern, Taphouse, Christmas Tree Farm, and Absinthe and Lavender Farm. I have it written down and I alt-tab to it whenever I need to.
Oh, and obviously Old Smythe has non-sparkling absinthe. I think that should be a thing too. Like absinthe is a thing, right? So like this new age, new sparkling Spanish moss absinthe versus just whatever their classic absinthe was.
Your classic absinthe. Is it banned in the U.S.?
No, I think there's like a certain, like you have to have it within a certain alcohol volume range. And I think it depends. It used to have more bans.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yes, absinthe is legal in the United States, but it's highly regulated and must be thujone free. I probably said that wrong. Thujone. Thujone. That's a beautiful name. It was legalized in 2007. So that's why.
Yeah.
That's why it feels like it's not. So
we got absinthe before gay marriage. That's crazy.
That's really. We got the green fairy before we got gay marriage. It's a bummer.
Fuck the rest of those fairies. I want the green fairy only.
Yeah.
I mean, we did briefly talk about their Pride Night. I think they do some green fairy branding, but they were like, "You're not gay. It feels weird." So that
it feels weirdly homophobic because
Like I'm allowed to say it, but I don't know if you are.
Yeah.
New and Old Smythe, you know?
Yes. And it's clearly a marketing thing.
They lean into the flannel thing, you know?
Yeah. This place would be fun to go to in the fall.
No, this sounds nice. Like, I mean,
it would be fun.
It sounds fun. Yeah, it's very like Christmas Tree Village kind of.
Yeah.
I said that like, is that a thing? Did I just?
Yeah, that is a thing. Yes.
Okay. I was like, I said that with such confidence that I'm like, is that one of those things that you went to once when you were 4 and doesn't really exist?
And in this universe with me over here, it exists as well. So even if it's just us two. The gift shop, look, we've got, people are having some high alcohol volume thing. And they keep trying. You're only allowed to have so many of the sparkling Spanish moss absinthe drinks. But I imagine their gift shop, they almost essentially have like a whole Patagonia, like you said, in REI, and they're like, they have pants and shirts and stuff, and you can get your nice leggings, and like whatever local MLM is trying to sell something might have a little section in there, but like you can get like some hiking gear in there, but it's helpful in case you like have an absinthe oopsie.
Yeah.
You know,
an abstinent.
They do have a shirt with the full title on it.
Yes, and it's a very small font because they also care more about the image of Spanish moss, which is not pretty outside of its context, to be clear. Now, I guess the real question is, obviously, like, should they have some real Spanish moss hanging around? That's
Imported.
wild. Imported. It's going to probably have some bugs on it. And that's just something people have to deal with. They have some organic bug spray that doesn't do anything. It's just a perfume, actually, but it makes people feel like it'll get rid of stuff. Maybe they've I don't know. I don't know how you preserve stuff like that, but they've done some these are preserved Spanish moss importations. We're working on different blends actually right now. That's in the lab right now. That's what we're looking for in 2035 is to have our own Clatfartburg moss that we've put together. It'll have different notes as well as flavors, hints, and riddles.
Do they accidentally make an invasive plant species?
Oh, yeah, they do. And they're trying to cover it up.
And this eventually becomes like a feature of the town. It's like that cool moss you see everywhere that's like weirdly purple.
Like smothered in smithering.
The smithering.
Moss. We call it the smithering.
The smithering moss.
Smithering moss.
But like one of the natural wonders of Clatfartburg, the smithering moss was actually created in a lab. By accident and got loose on the lavender farm. It's a cross between Spanish moss and lavender, believe it or not, and it's fucked up.
But the drink is actually quite impeccable.
The day that the moss was finally mutated over the hills. CNaster.
Yes.
Predicted the launch of the smiling
The thundering
moss.
of tiny hooves.
Tiny hooves.
That's when new Smythe was like, oh, fuck.
He went over there on his hoverboard so quickly.
He was like, and then
God, my lenses haven't adjusted yet. Fuck. Well, I feel like we have to leave it there. I don't know what else. Is there anything else you want to dive into? But
I feel like we've left so many good little nuggets for us to play with later on in like a bonus episode and even like further down the road. Like I feel really good about leaving it here because this place feels so, I'm not gonna lie, when we started this episode, would not have guessed that this is where we would end up.
No, well, I mean, that's every episode,
so
but
different.
this one especially, it does feel a very different vibe from when we started, but it feels like a slow change took place. I think once you added the British accent to the name, a new dimension showed up because before then we had no idea. But yeah, everybody, that's what? I
was just thinking, it's like there's a tour, but we never fully, like, there's all these different experiences, but you don't ever actually get to fully know it until you're in it. Like, it's just hinted at, and I feel like that we left a perfect
it's one of those
little,
websites that has way too little information. And you're like,
and you
can I
just
get
have
a
to
little
go.
more info, you know?
And that's how I feel about this, right? Like, I feel like we know so much about it and yet know nothing at all, and that's how I want to leave it. Because that's
how
the
I
vibe
feel like
of this
the
place.
Feeling of it from the town
it's good and
so
weird.
So that's your basic knowledge, but not too much knowledge about New Smythe Distillery Tavern. Fuck, hold on, I lost the tab. Fuck, why is my password manager opening? Stop.
Oh, no.
That's the basics of the New Smythe Distillery Tavern, Taphouse, Christmas Tree Farm, and Absinthe and Lavender Farm.
We did it. Yummy. Delicious.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of Clatfartburg. If you like this and you want more content, you can go over to clatfartburg.com. We have a little membership over there, and we post bonus content. You can also get them a la carte if you're like interested in listening to one. We did a commentary track for the Nicole Kidman movie The Others because it was a listener request, and we really enjoyed it. And we were like surprisingly good at paying attention and like noticing what was going on. We called it.
Truly, it's
and
one
honestly,
of our more impressive.
I looked on Letterboxd, and everybody says they didn't see the twist coming. We did. Good for us.
That's stunning, actually.
We do have a new member who we want to welcome. Their name is Kai. So thank you, Kai. Thanks so
Welcome
much
to town.
for becoming a little citizen of Clatfartburg. But we're doing bonus content on there. It's lots of fun stuff. If you want to, you can leave us a 5-star review. We talked about this a little bit, and then I forgot to talk about it. And one day we're going to talk about it near the beginning of the episode, but I keep forgetting. If you want to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and do it like a fake review of a place in town, has to be 5 stars for us to read it. But if you want to do a little 5-star review and pretend you're reviewing something like the new Smythe Distillery, we'll read it out on the podcast because we want to hear it. And also, we would love to have headcanons. Send it to our email, clatfartburg@gmail.com. That's the easiest place for us to find them. Instagram.
I'm keeping my eyes open, guys. Send them in.
So send them in on Instagram or our email at clatfartburg.com. You can send us clatfartburg@gmail.com. You send us anything you want over there. But yeah, we're looking for more headcanons. We don't really have one to read out today. A lot of the stuff is great, but it doesn't really align with our vision. And I wish we weren't that exacting, but unfortunately we are. So I don't want to be arguing about the headcanons, and I don't want to...
Some of them we have to, either they play into an episode we know we're going to do in the future.
Exactly.
Also
or they're
happens a lot,
too big
too.
to be a headcanon, or there's something that don't make sense to us. So, because
so we
us
just
putting it
have
as a
to-
headcanon does mean we endorse it. You know,
Exactly.
we love to
It's
hear all your
dangerous.
ideas.
We still
you know?
we still like it, though. Do
We
not
still
let
like
this
it.
deter you from
We
sending
wanna
it in.
hear
We
it.
still enjoy it. Just
But,
know
like-
that there's what you send does get full review.
It
It's
does
not
get
just
full review.
Whatever
it gets
was
peer
sent.
reviewed. It goes in front of the board, which is me and Elaine.
Yes.
And we decide if we think it makes sense. If it doesn't, that's okay. That doesn't mean you're wrong. It means we have different visions, and that's okay.
It's the democratic process,
It's the
as any town would have. So
Yes, we're the council. But yeah, so send those in. We are itching for them. We love it. We're itching like we got all those bugs from the Spanish moss.
delicious.
Yeah, but
Well-
with that all being said, what was it? Thanks for visiting. Is that
Thanks
what
for
we're supposed to-
visiting.
Thanks for visiting. And don't drink too much absinthe, and make sure the crow doesn't tell you a scary truth about when you'll die on your way out.
Old Smythe is coming to get you.
That's the hoverboard.
Yep, there it goes.
Bye.
Bye.